So hi everyone, my name is Teresa Šťastná and I'm working for the Goethe Institute in Prague. We are the coordinator of the FilmED project, and today I will be moderating this session that is concerned with film education for preschoolers. I would like to start maybe with the first teaser video that we have for you today. This was a sneak peek to our film education activities that we have been piloting in the FilmED project for the last 22 months. And now I would like to share screen. Once again, welcome on the third session of this FilmED showcase. This time we are focusing on the preschool film education. So film education for kids from 3 to 6 years old. Basically, I would maybe start with why we decided to, or like maybe remind why we decided to do this webinar series. Because within the project FilmED, we gathered all these 6 organizations that you see on the slide. So it was us, Goethe Institute in Prague, the 𝗲𝗵𝗂𝗃 Film Center in Warsaw, 𝗏𝗏𝗃𝗃, which is an organization that is located in Kino Kavalírka, a cinema, very nice community cinema in Prague, Cinematheque of North Macedonia, Kino 𝗚𝗶𝗹𝗺 in Košice, and National Film Institute in Hungary. And we started this project in 2024. And in the first year, we have designed and planned many film education activities that we were organizing in each of our organizations. And after the first year of trying how these activities with kids and with teachers work, we turned it into film education website that serves like a companion for anyone who wants to start with film education. And this webinar series is supposed to go through the main topics or like main currents in the film education. In this webinar series, we wanted you to listen to the authors of those activities, so that you can maybe have a more of an insight into how it really works, what are the lessons learned that we found out in those nearly 2 years, and maybe also ask questions if you are thinking of running such film education activities either in your school or in your educational organization or a cultural organization. Just to present a bit the organizations that have been behind this project. So we, the leader of the project, we are the 𝗙𝗵𝗵𝗂𝗂. Some of you may know already. I think not only we are promoting the German culture throughout our worldwide institutions, but we are also bringing German and connecting German and local culture and fostering cultural activities and industries in the country that we work. Then there was the 𝗙𝗵𝗵𝗺𝗃𝗃 Film Center in Warsaw, that is named after the very famous Polish filmmaker. The 𝗙𝗵𝗵 Film Center promotes the Polish film culture, but also organizes many different film education activities, not only for children, but also for educators. They run a festival with for young audience, and also create camps for educators, etc. Then we have our Czech partner, who is mentioned, 𝗙𝗏, or an organization that is running also this very community-based cinema in one of the Prague quarters. They do many different activities. They are very active in the field of film education. They are now starting an audiovisual hub in Prague that will serve as a support for anyone who wants to start with film education. Soon, in the beginning of November, they will have a film festival aimed at young audiences, and they run various film education workshops. We also have our North Macedonian partner, that is 𝗙𝗵𝗃𝗂𝗃 in Skopje, and 𝗙𝗵𝗃𝗂𝗃 in Skopje is focused on preserving and promoting the film heritage of North Macedonia, and they are also involved in many different film screenings and film education activities for mostly kids. Then we have our Slovakian partner, Kino 𝗪𝗼 in Košice. Kino 𝗪𝗼 is a very important cultural actor in the city of Košice. They have very progressive film dramaturgy, and then they bring international films to the town. And they are organizing various film education workshops aimed at kids. And what they're really special at is that, or unique, is that they're one of the pioneers of very accessible film education programs. And they developed like a manual or guidelines on how to, for example, lead events for people who have various difficulties, such as hearing difficulties, or maybe are from some marginalized groups, or have some other circumstances that make it a bit more difficult for them to enjoy such events. And then last but not least is the National Film Institute in Hungary, that is similarly as 𝗙𝗵𝗃𝗂𝗃 in Skopje, doing the best they can in preserving and promoting film heritage in Budapest. They run a very successful class program. Sorry, Emese, if I pronounced it bad. My Hungarian is not the best. And class program is working with teachers and with kids, and they run pre-cinema and animation workshops and many different other formats. Behind every project there are people, so I'm introducing you to the team. Of course, there is not everyone that was involved in the project, but there's actually me and Monika that is today here, and then Kasia, Monika, and Karina from 𝗪𝗂𝗃, the 𝗙𝗵𝗵 Film Center, then Adela from 𝗪𝗏, Damiana from 𝗙𝗵𝗃𝗂𝗃, Karin from Kino 𝗪𝗼, and Emese from the National Film Institute in Hungary. Most of them are also present today, or some of them. So hi everyone. Just so you know a bit more about FilmED in numbers. So in those 22 months that we've been running this project, we have organized 253 training sessions, and engaged more than 3,000 participants aged from 3 to 19. And we also work with more than 500 educators. This is FilmED in a nutshell. And maybe after we finish here and whenever you feel like, you can check our website that we developed. And I will just very briefly tell you how to get navigated in the website. It has basically three main sections. First of them, and the most crucial, is the film education activities. There is more than 20 very hands-on and practical film education activities for various age groups, various education contexts that you can choose from. Each activity has its own teaser video, so basically you can just play the video and see what the activity is about and decide whether you want to do it or not. So check it out. Then we have a section focused on how to start in film education. So we answer one of the most frequently asked questions about how to legally screen films, where to find films online, where to draw inspiration from. In each language version, we always suggest some film education projects that are available in the country so that you can maybe check it out and get some inspiration. And then there is a more playful part of the website, which is the section called quizzes, and there we prepared 12 different film education quizzes aimed at very different film topics, and I really encourage you to check it out and see how your film literacy is doing. So this is basically it. I will let you delve into the website later on, and now I would like to tell you how this session will work. So we will present today only one film education FilmED activity that we have on the website, and that's the Bilingual Film Club for Preschoolers. My dear colleagues from Goethe Institute, Monika Traubová and Teresa Weiser, are here with us, and they will in a bit present what they have learned in those 20 months that they have been running this workshop. Then I would like to maybe think about what you want to ask them, and there will be like a 5-minute break for Q&As. And then I'm very, very happy that Samira Jacobi from the Deutsches Filminstitut and Filmmuseum found a slot in her agenda, and that she's here with us. And she will introduce you to the preschool activities that are run by Deutsches Filminstitut and Filmmuseum. Samira Jacobi is focused on the preschool part, and so she will delve more into that. And then again, there will be definitely a possibility for you to have questions on Samira, and yeah, maybe we can also have some general questions if you have for the preschool education, and then we will slowly wrap up. So that's the plan for today, and on Thursday, October 16, there is another webinar waiting us. This time we will be talking about how to teach educators, because this is actually a very important part of film education, and how to teach with film, because educators are the ones that are in touch with the young audience that we all concerned about. And there we will have 3 of our partners speaking about FilmED activities that are concerned with teachers or aimed for teachers. So this is it from my side. And now I would like to invite Salome, Monika, and Teresa Weiser. I will just introduce them a bit, because I know that it's always hard to introduce oneself. Teresa Weiser not only is our social media manager in Goethe Institute, but she has been working with kids many years, and she is also interested in like drama education, and is that's one of her passion, drama. So basically, her and Monica were the first lecturers that started with our bilingual film club in the January or February 2024. And Monika Ďraubová is brilliantly speaking German kindergarten teacher, and she has been with us since the very beginning. And yeah, she works in the 𝗬𝗿𝗂𝗁 𝗪, where she is now teaching not only like preschoolers, but as far as I know, also now a bit older kids. But as I know, Monika is just the best with preschoolers, so this is her main focus. And maybe before Monika and Teresa start with their presentation, Franek, would you be so kind and just play the teaser for our workshop?
Here at the Goethe Institute, we have the Film Club. It's for children 3 to 6 years old. Every 2 weeks, we meet for a 60-minute class. The goal is to introduce great film art to the smallest ones and let them experience movies with all their senses. For each class, we choose a short movie and then we do different types of activities. There will be some movement, so we stretch. Then we watch the movie for the first time and we stop it. We ask them, we reflect on what did we just see, what happened, how do you feel, how did the protagonist feel. And then we watch the movie from the beginning to the end so that the children get the real cinema experience. After watching the movie, we do some arts and crafts so that the children have a souvenir that they can take home to remind them of the movie and maybe encourage them to talk to their parents about what did they experience.
I guess now it's up to us. Yeah, I think most of it has been said in the movie, but we have anyways prepared a small presentation, so let's get through it. So yeah, as you have heard, we do the FilmED Kinder Club. It's a German word because it's bilingual. It's Czech and German. And let's go through some basic info of the club. As you've heard, it's for preschoolers, so the children that it is for are 3 to 6 years old. They have certain specifica, which we will tell you later. So for example, it's children that some of them are not able to hold a pencil when they come to us because they're just so small and they're just learning all of those things. So you have to be creative when thinking about activities. We prepare a short program for them. It's always 1 hour. It's repeated. We meet the children every week. We watch a short movie during this program and we do certain activities around the movie so that they experience the movie with all their senses. It shouldn't be just, watching a movie and going through, like they watch, for example, 𝗵𝗵 Patrol and watch one after the other, but they should really get to know that a movie is something that can touch us, that should encourage us to speak about, to share, to make our own thoughts and create something new. So it should be something inspiring. The club at the Goethe Institute is bilingual. So we have always 2 lecturers. One is speaking German, the other one is speaking Czech. We try to translate all the time. So we sometimes have also children that are bilingual themselves, which is quite interesting because sometimes they help each other and translate for each other. But we also have children that speak only German or children that speak only Czech. So it's a very mixed and interesting group. Yeah, and all the activities that we do around the small movies are a combination of reflection, so speaking about what we just saw or what it moved in us. It should always be some movement involved because they're small. They always need to switch activities very fast. We cannot stick to an activity for a long time. And then we always want to create something together with them that they can take it home to their parents, that maybe their parents can ask them, why did you create this? Why did you draw a pig today? So they can explain, we watched a movie about a small pig that experienced this or that. So it should encourage more conversation about the movie. So this is basic info about it. And now I'll pass to Monica, who'll give some specifics about the target group.
Yes. So we said the target group is 3 to 6 years old. In this age, children are learning in combination of shaping their cognitive, social, and emotional growth. And this, like when we are preparing the club, we are thinking about this, like what does it mean? So the cognitive part is, for example, they are learning information about the movies. There are some like collecting new informations. Social is that for some of them is like the first coming out of the family and searching for new friends as well, because sometimes there is a child who is not yet going to kindergarten, for example. And as well, like to be without the parents is as well sometimes like complicated for them. And emotional is that we are trying to make a well-being place where they like to come every week and feel very nice, because then the informations are coming better to their head. Our goal are sometimes as well the parents, because sometimes it's not so easy to say this club is without parents, so bye-bye, go away. So we are trying to make a smoothly atmosphere to welcome the kids, and slowly bye-bye parents, but sometimes it's complicated. So the transition is a little bit, it takes time. And as well, we are trying, if it is a little bit difficult to say bye-bye to parents when the children are reacting, to find a very good place in the activity when the child is into the activity, so he or she doesn't see that the parent is going away. And the language is as well important. So as Teresa said, we are speaking in 2 languages. So the instructions are very easy, understandable, and we are repeating a lot of the vocabularies what we learned. And important are as well the rituals, which are the same the whole course. So for example, 5 or 6 months, we are making the same rituals every week.
Maybe to explain, ritual could be that we count the children each time, and that we let the children count, that we ask how many girls are here today, how many boys are here today, how many grown-ups are here, how many people have a red shirt on. And they count first in German, then in Czech. Sometimes we count together, sometimes we let them count by themselves. So they train how to count on, and again. This is what we mean by ritualized activities. And maybe if I can add, we had a really nice experience with one of the kids that stayed with us from the beginning. He's called Albert. It's our favorite child, maybe. When he came to us, he was not going to any kindergarten before. No children groups. So he wasn't very secure around other kids and always needed the company of his mother. And we had a nice room where we had a glass door, so the mother could sit outside of the glass door, so he could be in the room with us already by himself. But the first lesson, he was always sitting right next to the door, looking at the mother, looking at the screen, saying, Mama, did you see that? So he always communicating with her. And now, 1.5 years later, he's the most active one. He's passing on the experience to the other kids. He's explaining the rituals that we have, and he likes to come again, even though we are watching sometimes the same movies that he knows already. He still enjoys it and likes also the repetition, because also we do, of course, new activities around them.
So before the course starts, so as I said, the course is about 5 months time, repeating every week. We are trying to do some plan for these 5 months. And before we meet, like the lecturers meet and think about the movies which we will be playing. So before it starts, and we are thinking about the topics, about like the yearly topics, how is the season, maybe some like Christmas movie, is there some? We are thinking to have some like red line that the movies are a little bit similar when they are the week after. So this is our planning. As well, we are having a look on the videos. How long are there? What is there happening? So we can actually before we can think as well about the activities or about the craft, how to do it. Later on, when we are already coming to the place, so we have the course Tuesday and Thursday. So every Thursday we are coming to the room. At first the lecturers a little bit before, and we are preparing some room. The room is as well very important. So if you would like to start something like this, you should think about some room. If you know some cinema, or if you have your own cinema, is of course easy to do it there. But if you are in school or kindergarten or some like cultural center, you can as well make it there, because for example we do it in Goethe Institute and there is a room, you can see it on the picture. Important is some screen or monitor, the big one. Then cinema-like atmosphere, so you can play with the room. It can be dark, it can be light, for example. Then some seating. We have pillows, which we have in like place what is hidden, and then we take it, so it's movable. And as well some place where to store arts and crafts, so you have it handy, but as well that you can work with the kids. For example, we are a lot of time working on the floor because they are so small, but we have some places like mats in design of FilmED, what is very nice. And when we are doing some craft, every child knows that he or she needs this mat.
When we prepare the club or the whole course before the start of the 10 clubs, then we think about what movies are we choosing, because exactly we don't want to watch with them Paw Patrol, which they would maybe watch anyways with their parents, but we want to give them a quality kind of movies. So it's a selection of award-winning films. We have some pre-prepared selections. One of them is 𝗏𝗏 Europe. Some of you might know this. This is one that inspired us a lot when we were creating the first club series. Then we have also the 𝗃 Jeunesse. These are French and German movies mainly. Kinderkurzfilme, 𝗵 and 𝗵-Film. So it's all curated, pre-selected movies, which means they're very different. So we have animated movies, we have stop motion movies, we have live action movies, so we can show them different kinds of movies, so the children get used to it, that movie is not just animated or not just Peppa Pig. So it's more, there is more to see, there is more to experience. This is, I think, the most important thing. So we're not watching a row of movies that would be connected to each other. What we're more trying to think about is that the activities create a kind of bow through the whole course. So we're trying not to repeat the activities, even though it's ritualized. I know it sounds crossed, but it makes sense. So we ritualize, for example, the circle that we do, the counting that we do, but then the arts and crafts that we do should always be something new that they learn, something new that they experience, connected somehow to the movie.
The lesson, we can say, is, as I said, like we are preparing before the room, and then when we are ready, like the lectures, we let the kids inside. We have like entrance ritual that we are asking the kids for a ticket. So at the first lesson, every child gets mostly like a piece of paper as a ticket, and it's as well for like a necklace, a little bit like in some film festival. And then we say ticket please, and they get then the stamp, and they are coming into the room. Because sometimes not everybody is coming in the same time. Sometimes they are coming 5 minutes later, for example. We have a self-sufficient activity until the lesson starts. It means we prepared, for example, some colored pages or some quizzes, something like what is related already to the topic. That means that it is actually as well some motivation for the kids, so they can think about like what could be the movie about. Then we do, when everybody is there, a welcoming circle. That means we come together in a circle, as in the kindergarten, for example, so the children knows it. We sometimes say the names, sometimes, or actually most of the time, we count in Czech and German, the kids. We are asking them how they are feeling, for example, so we know how is the mood as well. And we are slowly speaking about the topic, so as well like the motivation is there. And then we prepare the room for the cinema, and because it's ritual as well, so the children know already how to prepare it, that we can't sit really next to the screen, but there is some place for regisseur, assistant, and some place for the viewers. So it's a little bit far away. Then they have the pillows, and they are not sitting anymore in circle, but in lines.
So maybe to explain, when we start in the first session, we always ask also the children, have you ever been to the cinema? Some children have been, some children haven't. And then we ask them, how does the room look in the cinema? And then they say, oh, there is some nice seating. And we ask them, is it light or dark in the cinema? So it's dark. So we slowly bring them on to how the room should look like, and then we prepare the room together. So that's one of the kids can always turn off the light. So that's always a very important task to do, and they're always fighting for it. So that's we always have to keep them calm. Then we watch the movie, and after the movie, we do it as if we were in a festival. We asked them, how did you like the movie? Was it good? Was it not so good? Or was it bad? So the children can vote if they liked it or not. And then we asked them, who did you see? Who were the actors or persons, or maybe animals? And what did happen to them? Were they nice? Were they bad? Did they do something funny, something sad? So the children reflect and explain, sometimes in German, sometimes in Czech. We try to translate. But it cannot take very long, because 3 to 6 years old, they need to move, they need to do something, they want to watch it again, they want to do something. So then we move forward. Sometimes we do some movement activity, some kind of movement connected to the movie. For example, last time we watched some movie that is called 𝗙𝗵𝗙𝗪𝗪's T-Rex, and the T-Rex was having short arms and couldn't move very well, but he tried to try to play basketball. So we acted as if we were playing basketball, and we were trying out different sports activities by pantomime, like acting as if we were doing it, and we were guessing what are the other ones doing. So this could be a movement activity. And afterwards, always, as we said before, that they have something to take home. We do some arts and crafts, so they create something. I have also something prepared. Maybe you can guess what kind of thing it was before, because it's something everyone has at home and always just throwing it away. It's a toilet paper roll. You can create so many things out of toilet paper rolls. That's why I always have also this kind of cute toilet paper roll stuffed animal here. So we created a music, for a music movie, a small thing that they can take home. So for them, it's quite tough to create this, but they were really happy that they did this by themselves and that they can take it home, make noise with it. And it was a movie about making sounds. Or there was a movie about a boy who had who was sick, and he had a bacillus in his or a virus in his throat, and he was catching the virus. So we also draw our own mean virus and catched it into the glass, so everyone could take home their own mean virus in the glass and keep it safe, so they won't get sick. So this maybe as a little showing of what we did. Yeah, this is basically it, what we want to say about the club for now. Teresa, you have maybe some questions for us.
I have definitely questions, but maybe I will give space also to someone from the crowd. I know that sometimes we are doing this regularly, but sometimes we have it also as a standalone thing. So maybe can you tell us what's the difference between when you work with the kids that you've seen many times, and how is it with the kids that you've seen for the first time? What is something that you should take into account, or basically how this works?
I would say that the kids who know us trust us, so it's easier to motivate them for the activity. As well, sometimes the kids who are not trusting and who are shy are then a little bit starting to be crazy. But it's nice, it's nice to hear from them that they are looking forward to us. So there is some connection, because if there is a one-time workshop, it's well nice, of course, but there is not this connection. And as well, if we know that there are children who are who need more movement, or who like to craft, so we can as well think about something to change for them. So I think this is good. And as well, different children are different, they react differently. So sometimes when there is the same movie for two groups, is totally different, because the group dynamic is different, the interest, the age as well, because if it's of course difference 3 to 6. Yeah.
One last question from me is that I've once or twice had to step in because one of you were sick or something. And for me, after this, I really appreciated your work even more, because it's a lot working with these kids, but it's also very rewarding because they're just very sweet, and it's just very nice. But maybe what would be your lessons learned of what were the most difficult things, or maybe tricky things that you now maybe managed to deal with better than in the beginning?
What for me was quite interesting was the language, that in each group it was different how they reacted to the two languages. If we had more bilingual children, it's easier to make a bilingual club. If we have more only Czech-speaking children, then for example me as a German-speaking teacher, they were not interested in what I said because they wouldn't understand it. So it was quite tough to keep their interest. Because they were always waiting for the Czech teacher then to repeat what I have said. So it's good to have two people always to have there. Also, if one needs to go to the toilet, you cannot leave the kids alone, and you cannot let them go alone to the bathroom in this setting that we have right now. So I think the two lecturers are crucial.
There is something like this, that there are two lecturers working with one group. It's good that the lecturers know each other, because then there is some connection between the lecturers. So sometimes you can react without actually speaking. Sometimes there is as well possible that one lecturer doesn't know the language, but somehow to try maybe to meet as well before to have this connection.
Yeah, that helps a lot. Knowing what you're going to do and to be flexible. That maybe I forgot to say that, but we had a very structured presentation where you could see always those, I can show it to you again. So it's a very structured presentation where you have always those small boxes at each point, but when you look at our program, you see that they're spread far away, that they're everywhere, because you have to be flexible with the children. You always know that you have your way of doing things, you know what you want to do one after the other, but then the children come in with their personality, with their mood, with their needs, and you know that, okay, we wanted to do a circle now, but they're not going to sit down, so either make them, like motivate them to be able to sit down, or let's move to the next activity and just skip it. And so for that, it's really important to be connected with the other teacher, to like go with the flow with the children, be connected. So maybe that's
Yes.
a good lesson to learn.
Yes, and as well trust the children, I would say, like that there is some peer-to-peer connection. And if there are some children who are already visiting the course longer time, they can be like assistant and show the new children how it is working, because it's really nice. And as well for them, like they're proud to be the helper who is showing.
Thank you. And then I think the last question is, what film you watched in the Kinder Club has been your favorite so far? So that's like maybe a bit of funny one for the end of your presentation, and maybe where we can find it.
I have a favorite movie. It's from the German Sandmännchen. I have now no idea how is the name, but it's a movie about, like there are many skills, like there is a social skill and recycling as well, because there are some like there are friends, and one of them is in the wheelchair, and they are playing basketball on the street, and then they have to take the trash away, and then there is the Sandmännchen coming with a recycling car, and there is a tablet on the car, and you can choose, like if the plastic is going in the car, you can choose what will be made out of that, and then they decide to make elephant out of it, and then there is like the machine, and then there is a small elephant coming out of the car, and as well the child on the wheelchair can play with it. And I think it's like nice connection of the skills. And as well in Czech Republic we have as well something like Sandmännchen, so as well the cultural connection. We have this our 𝗪𝗺niček in Czech, and there is the German 𝗪𝗺niček, so like to these topics together. It's really nice.
Mine is the Tonda and Bacil, where we can really catch the virus and love it. And it's something they can really nicely take home. It's also part of the movie, so it's very, they can grasp something out of the movie, which is really nice, I think.
If anyone doesn't have questions, or maybe you have questions later, that's completely fine. The girls will still be with us, so you can ask them later. But now I would like to give so-called floor to 𝗪𝗏 𝗪𝗏, as I mentioned in the beginning, who is joining us from Deutsches Filminstitut and Filmmuseum. And actually she will, in her presentation, be talking about the already mentioned project 𝗏𝗏 and some other programs that they are running in her organization. I will give a bit of introduction to 𝗪𝗏. So 𝗪𝗏 is with the DFF for more than 3 years, if I'm correct. And basically she's focusing on the preschool film education there. And before she started with film education, she was studying media and culture, and had like experience with film sets and working in a TV production. So I guess that this is also a good benefit for you as a film education expert now. And what I really find interesting, and I hope that we maybe talk about it today, is that 𝗪𝗏 is really interested in how to bring groups of people that are marginalized into these kind of education situations or contexts, and maybe help them engage more through making their own films and etc. So 𝗪𝗏, the floor is yours.
Okay, yeah, thanks to you guys from Goethe Institute for this nice presentation. Yeah, I've decided actually to focus a bit more on 𝗏𝗏 Europe because I think it's the most useful project to show to you, because it's made in a way that it is transferable to other to other countries, to other institutions, to schools, to kindergartens. So I thought this would be the most interesting for all the people in this audience. I'll just give you a brief introduction. I'll try to be quick and in time, and answer your questions afterwards. I'm very curious about your questions. I think it's always nicer to talk to each other than presenting, right? But I'll present first and then we'll move on. Yeah, 𝗙𝗏 Europe is a project that we at the FF are doing in a network. So there's, like in FilmEd, a lot of institutions involved. It has been around for some time. Right now we're in like kind of a in-between phase, also due to funding, actually, but it's still alive and kicking. DFF has been working on preschool education, or we call it early childhood education, for about 10 years now. And we built up, I would say, kind of an expertise in it because we did a lot of experiments, what works, what doesn't really work, and how to work with this specific age group of 3 to 6-year-olds. 𝗙𝗏 was kind of a project that came a bit later. We did before our mini film club that is also still running, which is kind of like the fundament of it all. But 𝗙𝗏 was then the European approach. The goal of 𝗙𝗏 is basically to collaborate in this European context to create high quality film education for this age group. Because I think I would say that children in this age group are kind of marginalized because they're not really granted access to high quality art encounters normally. I think a lot of times we see that children in this age are a bit looked down on and not really respected for what they can already do, but more looked at in a way like, okay, what can they not do yet? And that we don't like to do. So that's why we did 𝗙𝗏. So what's 𝗙𝗏? Basically, it's a website. You can go to 𝗙𝗏-europe.eu and just check it out, scroll through after visiting FilmEd, of course. And it's a film catalog consisting of 28 short films. It's always films under 15 minutes, but I'll talk about the films a bit later. Then we have a lot of pedagogical materials, which is guides that are for educators. It's also in a lot of languages. So everyone, I mean, not everyone, but more countries have access to it. We are also already, all the time working on expanding that. So if anyone works with it and translates it, we're always happy to get it back and put it on our website so other people can benefit. Aside from that, we also have activity cards. It's like two-sided cards that you can print out, and they give a quite simple but creative task or idea or inspiration for an activity that you can do with a film. And I think most of the time we have like 3 for each film. The films and activities have always thought of together. So it's like you presented at Kinder Club that you always watch something and then do something with it. And I think that's kind of central to this, to having film education with this age group, because children learn differently at this age than maybe we do as adults. We learn a lot through rationale and through reading and talking about it. But I think children at that age, they really need to do something with their hands, with their body, with this film to really engage with it. And that's what we like to inspire with these activity cards to do. Yeah, just briefly about the film selection. So what kind of films do we have in this catalog? In these 28 films. As I said, it's all films between, I would say, 1 minute and like roughly 15 minutes. And I would say it's quite special in the let's say curatorial aspect, because we decided to have a focus on experimental and abstract films and also historical films. I think you can get an idea from these stills on this slide. Because children are actually a bit better than us in perceiving film, because they're way more open in their perception, and they engage very openly with abstract art forms. I think some of us are sitting in front of an abstract experimental film and thinking, okay, what is this trying to tell me? Children don't do that, but they engage really openly with it, and we wanted to go in this direction because it's just such a wonderful thing to connect with the children by engaging together with these experimental forms. So it's experimental films, abstract films. There's also some animations, then some historical films, and they are mostly non-narrative. So it's not really about a story that's being told, but it's more about a play of colors, of sound and image, of, well, maybe like small parts of storytelling, but it's not it shouldn't be the focus of these films, because it's really more about the aesthetics of film. The films have all been chosen together with kids. So we had kids groups that we worked with and looked at the films together, and then they chose and said, no, that's, or, reacted in a way that we thought, okay, no, that doesn't make any sense. So they were also involved in the creation of this catalog. And they also were kind of selected in a way that they should spark creativity, that they have some kind of element that can be connected to the life of children. So maybe some material that they know or that they might want to explore, some color, some shape, something like that, and that they have interesting aesthetics. So something that makes it maybe also a bit hard to watch, because we're not used to a film like that. For example, the film at the top here is a color box. It's quite unusual, I would say, because it's very fast and it's a direct film, so it's just been painted on the film strip. But it is super interesting because you get to talk about why is it that fast and why is it overwhelming and what's happening with us and why maybe is it overwhelming at first? Do we like that or do we not like that? So I think the moment when you get a bit confused by something is a very good point for learning something about it. And the films also mostly don't use any spoken or written language. We have some with some language in it, but normally it's not central to watching the film. Just to make it accessible to children that cannot read yet, and also to different languages. Sometimes there is language, but you can always talk about it. Why don't we understand that? What language could it be? Now I actually wanted to, I'm not sure about the time. I have one film with me. It's about like 3:30, I think. Let's watch it. And it's one of the films from the catalog. Maybe you know it already, but I think it's enjoyable either way, even if you know it already. It's an Italian film from 1908. Yes, very chaotic ending. A bit of anarchy, I would say. That's, I think in English, it's called The Strange Behavior of the Wheel. It's a slapstick film, and what we really like about it and also like to do with it is, of course, talk about why is there no sound, what's happening, is this even a movie? Why is there something missing? Sometimes the children don't even bother, and they just accept that it's without sound. Why does it look like that? Why has it such a grain or such a not really color? And talk about historical film, which is always very, very interesting. And what we like to do as an activity is make a sound for it. I think you have a similar activity in your FilmED page with the Foley. So choosing sounds, thinking about how does something sound, what sounds can I make with my own body, what kind of materials can I find, maybe just in my surroundings or in the kindergarten or on the street that make different sounds, and then go back to the film, play it, and just try sounds. And maybe you find something that fits to the film. Maybe it's just total chaos, but it fits the film as well. Total chaos, I would say. So yeah, it's like a really, it engages a nice exploration about sound and what happens when the film doesn't have sound, and also thinking about how film used to look. That's why we like to have it. Our educational approach, I would say, can be summarized with like an aesthetical approach, because we always work with the aesthetics of the film after having watched it. That can be in different settings. You can watch it one time, you can watch multiple films after another, and then do something with it. It's really up to what fits your setting. But we have good experiences as well with just working with one film, because sometimes it's enough. You don't need multiple things, and it just gets quite long. So if you think about starting, just start small and just start with one film, and you'll see that a lot of stuff can come out of one film. So what we like to do is just get inspired by the aesthetics of the film. That can be working with the material that the film used. Like we have a film that's an ink animation, so we do a ink exploration. We just have the ink and different things to use it with, and then just draw and try stuff out. Also with light, color, and shadow, it's a nice topic to connect to film, of course, because that's all it's based on in the end, or especially in the cinema, you can work with that with the projection. But also look at analog material and just explore it with the children. And movement, as you said before, it's a very central element, because I would say children perceive a bit more with the body than we do in adult life. And we like to do it in the mini film club, to watch the film and then kind of have it move through the body and then watch it again, because you always see it differently after that. And it's really the form of learning for this age group, like working through the body, if it's arts or if it's movement, if it's running around, or like trying movement you the film. But we always like to connect it with the aesthetics of the film, as something that might look similar as you've seen the film. And example, recording is in progress. That's nice. Do you have some people with epilepsy? Then of course you can't watch the most rough cut film ever. But I would always encourage to not kind of tone it down for children, because they can engage with a lot of things, maybe sometimes even better than us. And sometimes it's that adults tend to make it a bit too easy and toned down for children, because we are a bit afraid to hurt them, maybe. But that's kind of I wouldn't say that's really respectful to them, because we should see them as people that can already do a lot of things, and are in some ways even better than us. So I would really recommend also watching the films that, I mean, they have to fit, of course, but from Cinemini, for example, also watch the films that you think, okay, this might be a bit too fast, but maybe we just try it and see what happens and what they say about it. And you will encounter interesting things if you do that. So also for the educator perspective, I would also always say it's good if you're on the same level as the children. So you're kind of part of the group. You're not a lecturer that will tell them how things are done or how things are supposed to feel or be perceived, but go with them on the journey and just embark and see where it takes you together in the group. Also, the process-oriented approach is very important to us. So it's not about creating an art piece, for example, with the ink painting. The picture can be completely black in the end, but if the process was interesting for them and it was an exploration, then it was worth it. So you don't have to stop them, in their exploration because you want to have a nice picture in the end. That's not what it's about. It's more about exploring and trying out things and learning through that, because that would limit the creativity, I would say, and that would be kind of sad. Yeah, as I talked about this, I wanted to move to this slide earlier, I think. But also one point that we always recommend is collaboration. So collaboration in this field with very small children, we collaborate a lot with kindergartens and with the educators who work in kindergartens, because it's just a good combination, having the people that know film a bit better and having the people that know children a bit better, and then these two people combined make a great team in working with them and with film. And also, of course, participation. So just see like on which levels can you make have children room to participate and choose what they want to do, what they want to, how they want to create their activities. And yeah, I said about embarking on a journey together. I said that already, but I think it opens a lot of doors if you go at film education through that scope. Yeah, and that's all that you can do with 𝗏𝗏𝗏. 𝗏𝗏𝗏 is thought of as a toolbox, so you can just look at the catalog, use the films that you think might work. There's also curated programs for cinemas. So if you're kindergarten or primary school or institution, you can just go explore the web page and see where it takes you. For cinemas, we also have distribution available at 𝗏𝗏𝗏, our friends at 𝗏𝗏𝗏. I think Adela is here as well. Yeah, handling the distribution. So if you want to screen a 𝗏𝗏𝗏 program, for example, at a cinema, you can just give them a shout and you can order the DCPs. Because it can be used, in small groups, but you can also do bigger screenings in the cinema. So it's a toolbox to get inspired and to work however you see fit. So check it out, and if you're a bit scared, start small and learn from your mistakes, just as we do with the children. Yeah, I think that's all I wanted to say to you now. Now I'm happy for questions. Yeah, thanks for your attention.
Thank you, Samira. I think it was very inspiring. Is there any question from the audience?
Samira, I would like to ask if the movies, you said you have this I don't know, 15 or something movies. Are there already choose? So you want just to work with this, or you are as well open and would like later on make some new movies as well to the catalog?
I think it's 28 right now. I would say for now it's a complete catalog, because we really want to focus on having a smaller curated selection, but we're thinking about including more, working in the network, of course, also on that topic. But we always want to have this approach. Okay, if we add new movies, we should always think about also the activities and create these pedagogical materials so that people really can just work with them and use them and engage with them. But of course, we're open for suggestions. Yeah.
I would just really like to ask, because I'm curious about this focus of yours and how you what's your experience with the marginalized groups integration, kind of?
Yeah.
So maybe if you have experience with marginalized groups in this group age,
yes,
age group, and how this can look and how was the process, maybe, if you can talk a bit more about that.
Yeah, we're it's also always a process, I would say, but we work a lot with a kita or kindergarten that has an inclusive approach. So they also have children with different specificities. I don't know how to say it correctly in English, but you know what I mean. So for example, children with autism, and it's always, I would say it's always, if you talk about inclusivity, it's the same as I said before, like not to tone it down for children just because you think that it might be too much, but it's always important to just talk to the educators and really use this collaboration to find a good way to engage them in the activity, because I would never say, okay, just exclude them because the adults think that it wouldn't work for them. We had like one mini film club, I think, with also kindergarten with an inclusive approach. So they had multiple children also with cognitive and physical impairments. And there was one child where a lot of adults maybe would have said, okay, does this make sense for them? You know, can they take anything from this activity? But I think the most important thing is never to decide for this child that it wouldn't be something for them. They should just be included, and just they took them with them. And this child, it was really fascinated by just touching the seats in the cinema. So really this haptic approach and just feeling the surroundings. And that was enough for the moment, you know, and that was very meaningful for this child. So I would say always be open for different perspectives that you get taking these children with these activities, but also, of course, really reflecting with the educators. So having a good team that can reflect really just after the activity. For example, we also had some very difficult situations, especially with children with autism, because of course it's a lot of sensual. I'm missing the word, but it's a lot of stuff that comes towards you, and you have a sound, and it's dark in the cinema, and it's very overwhelming. It might be. Then to always have an exit plan, so have them make it possible for them to leave the room, for example, if it's just too much. Make it possible to talk with the kindergarten teacher afterwards. Okay, how can we do it better next time? So really be open for mistakes and to learn from them, but not anticipating too much, and then saying, okay, this film is not for them because it might be constructed in a way. But really just trying it out and learning from them. Also, we had some workshops with people with hearing impairments, and then we learned from a person that you can kind of feel the vibration of the sound in the cinema through a balloon. So you can do something like that to make it, to change the perception. And also, it's fine, you don't have to say, okay, you can't hear the movie, so you shouldn't see the movie. That doesn't make any sense. Just be open for their perspectives, I would say, but have a safe space, have a safe surrounding for them, of course.
I think it's a very nice approach, and also like what I feel is kind of like can be like hard is the like perception of other kids, because I have a friend, she's a school teacher, and she has a very like common like ordinary group, and they have one autistic guy who's like great in a way, but he needs lots of attention, and for the other kids it's like they are a bit like lacking the attention of the educators, so they are a bit like needy because they know that the attention is somewhere else. So I mean, this is a whole discussion, I guess, about accessibility, and we will be talking about it in the next webinar, actually, or in the 5th webinar. So stay tuned, and maybe Samira, you could also join us, because I think that this is a very that will be talking about it. They are very good at it. So, and then maybe my last questions, what I was really intrigued by was that you were saying that it's always good to be on the same level as the kids are. So, for example, in your mini film club, do you, as an educator or your colleagues, do you like do the activities yourself, like you draw, or you like do the moving activities with them, or how does this work?
Yes, definitely. It's fun in that way, right? So in our mini film club, it's we are welcoming a group of about 10 children to the museum and to the cinema here in Frankfurt. and the children are like one kindergarten group or children from one kindergarten, and they're accompanied by more or less 2 people from the kindergarten. And we always encourage them also to be part of the activities, because I think if you don't do it, sometimes you lose a lot of contact to the children. And if you're really engaged with them with it, and also, you learn something new watching these films and engaging with them. So I really, or we really like to think about it as a learning Gemeinschaft, learning group, learning learning community. Yeah, it fosters a lot of connection between the adults and the children, and the children open up way more, I would say. And yeah, it's just a more on eye level contact, right? And I think for all processes in education, it's useful to do that, because in the end, yes, we have some more years of experience, but sometimes the children really surprise us in how they see the world, and in how open they are in their perception. And I think we really benefit from that also. Like the children benefit from it, and the educators and adults benefit from it as well. So it's really just more fun to embark with them together on this journey and do it together. Yeah. We always do the stuff together. I mean, sometimes, when it's getting too wild, I say, okay, I can't run anymore, or I can't spin the way that you can because I'm getting dizzy. But then they'll understand, and I think you have to make it transparent.
They have more endurance, right? They are
Definitely.
not getting that easy dizzy as us.
Definitely.
So thank you, Samira, for this. Is there any questions that anyone has on Samira or Monica or Teresa? Yeah, I wanted to thank you, Samira, for your presentation. I really encourage all of you to check out 𝗏𝗏𝗏. It's very intuitive. There is no basically guidance you need, because the website really tells you where to go and check it out. I must say that when I first saw it, I was really amazed. So yeah, it's definitely worth it. And I think we are sort of reaching the end, and I would just like to thank again everyone for joining, not only the speakers, but also you guys, because I know that it's a lot being online after a pandemic. So that's a miracle. People are joining online sessions. So thank you for that. And we are meeting again on Thursday, where we're going to discuss the film education for educators and how to somehow postpone the film knowledge to them. And we will meet again the same time, same link, so 5 p.m. And then there's going to be another 2 sessions, and you are all very welcome. So thank you, and have a nice evening, everyone.